was a presentation by the Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and the Creative Economy. You know, this is not one ministry that will come around all the time, but they had their day with the council today. It was a very elaborate, very detailed presentation, and they have the very big idea around establishment and readoption of historic sites to create, to be named as Renewed Hope Creative Villages. The whole idea is for the ministry to be able to work, you know, first with a lot of the subnationals, identify some of these heritage sites, identify some of these very historic locations, and see how they are readopted, you know, into Renewed Hope Creative Village, you know, as a one-stop shop, which they believe will not only enhance and protect, you know, today and the future of these sites, but will also bring a lot of light, you know, visibility and viability to it. It certainly it presents an opportunity to repurpose some of the spaces that they currently have now for them to be vibrant, you know, hubs for various artists, you know, for entrepreneurs, and for the very young teeming population we have. You know, we've all talked about the power of creativity. We've talked about the enormous opportunity that are bound, you know, in the creative industry, especially with our various historic sites and with our monuments. So the whole idea around the presentation was for the ministry to put it at the front burner and for the subnationals to be able to work with them, identify various historic sites that can become what we call thriving, you know, creative villages, to be known, like I said, as Renewed Hope Creative Villages. And they were able to put forward justification for this initiative. I mean, not only do they believe it will create jobs, it will also enhance, you know, the revenue of the various locations, and by extension, you know, revenue generation for government. It will bluster, you know, tourism potentials, you know, a lot of tourist attractions, you know, and it will also be able to put forward our very rich cultural immersions, you know, and we'll see in those places all year round events, you know, and it will also provide opportunity for education, you know, all our teeming youth, young people population that probably don't have opportunity of understanding how these locations, you know, what are the stories behind this. They'll be able to offer them the opportunity and create education and excursion sites, you know, and these were all of the various thoughts behind what the ministry presented. It was very exhaustive, it was well taken, and there were several discussions, you know, around it. The ministry brought forward a few prayers, which include to work with subnationals at identifying the areas of interest. You know, a lot of these things, you know, are located in various states. There are some that have also been, you know, designated as national monuments, but they wanted to identify a lot more. They also request, you know, for support, logistic support from the various, you know, subnationals when they come on some of those courts of visit. And they're also seeking, you know, to be able to execute memorandum of understanding, you know, with the subnationals, so that it will not just be that they are pumping on your site, they have some bit of a working relationship, you know, and they also think that they must have a thought out implementation plan. You know, haven't looked at all of the presentations and their prayers. Council took note of it, and Council commended the ministry for this initiative, know that there's a need for stronger synergy between the ministry and the subnationals, and to also ensure that we put all of our creative minds, all of the very strong, you know, immersions and the energy that's in that sector. We know that sector has the potential of giving, you know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of jobs, you know, given all of the potentials that are bound, in the ministry, the potentials that are bound in that sector, in that industry, that is important for all of us to support and to work with them. But at the end of the day, Council also deem it fit that at the federal level, they also need to support the ministry more by ensuring that they give them adequate budgetary support so that they don't go to all of the subnationals with cap in hand. So, I mean, it was resolved that they should also be given, adequate support at the budgetary level from the federal purse, and it was unanimously agreed that it's an initiative that all of us must support and work with. And so thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Sanwo-Olu. Your Excellency.